Hi guys, I thought I'd do a follow-up video from my last video I did a while ago. My last one was obviously about what it was like during chemo, kind of things, what to expect, and this one's going to be more about what to expect post-chemo. So I finished my chemotherapy 22nd of June 2016, and it's now the 18th of May 2017. So just to kind of explain a few things of what I've gone through since then, which may or may not, hopefully it doesn't, you may not get any of these things. So when I finished my chemotherapy, my last chemotherapy was like a Tuesday, and I was released from hospital. I have my checkups every 3-4 months as usual, blood tests, so on and so forth. Since then though, I've not really had any support as such from where I'm from like the hospital that I've been with. The thing I struggled with for a large part of this time is the anxiety. So I used to get quite paranoid, or if I was coughing, I'd start thinking, "Oh, is this come back?" Or if I was getting night sweats because it was hot at night, anything like that. My anxiety definitely increased. So I actually ended up getting diagnosed with PTSD, following on from my last bout of chemotherapy. Basically, like I said, because I was quite stressed, quite anxious, and quite paranoid about what potentially could happen. So it's just important to make sure everyone's aware of the fallout of obviously finishing chemotherapy. It suddenly you almost feel like you go through months of being looked after, and people are there for you, people are checking on you, checking your health, and as soon as you finish, it's like whack, you're back on your own almost. And I felt quite small, I suppose is the correct word. I felt quite like an island, basically. For so long I'd been looked after, people doing this, people helping me here, and suddenly I'm all on my own. But it's something that everyone's going to have to go through at some point, and just to be aware of it and to make sure that when it does happen, because it will happen, you're prepared for it and you know what to expect, and you go with the emotions. You don't try and pretend you're fine. You don't try and pretend everything's all right if you know it's not. If you know there's a problem, then don't be scared to deal with it. So my way of what I was doing with trying to get over what I'd been through was I started going to Macmillan. I used Macmillan quite a lot, and I went to a counsellor, so I was speaking to people all the time, just dealing with what I'd been through, explaining how I felt, what I'd seen, and things, because you're going to see some horrible things. But that's how I kind of dealt with it, my side and my way. So I just want everyone to kind of know that, it can be quite daunting when you finish, but it's not anything to be afraid of. You've been through the worst of it. It is just another step. But I just wanted people to kind of be aware of, the aftermath of what happens. It's one of those, you just gotta kind of power on through with it. So like I said, I was diagnosed with PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder. So I was given medication, anti-anxiety tablets basically for that, because like I said, I was getting panic attacks and stuff like that. And at first I didn't know what it was, and I was really worrying about it. But then as soon as I was diagnosed and they said it's just because of what you've been through, it all kind of clicks in and makes sense. Because when I was going through my chemo, I kind of shut everything off and just blocked everything out, and just powered on through, got the job done, so to speak, and then deal with everything else after that. So as soon as I finished, all those emotions came back to me, because suddenly I didn't have to be as strong anymore, because I'd done it. I'd got over the cancer, and that's when it kicked in. But obviously now I know what it is and what the problems are, why I'm feeling, or why I was feeling anxious, why I was getting these paranoia thoughts, or, so on and so forth. That's a massive relief knowing that. A lot of people will go through this. So like I said, I had got diagnosed with it, got given medication for it, and the other thing I did is, like I said before, I started going to Macmillan, and I was talking to people at Macmillan all the time, getting rid of my feelings, letting off all the steam I had, and it really, really, really helps. So just the last kind of to summarise, just a heads up of what potentially you may go through after it. Don't be scared by it. You've been through the worst of it. If you're feeling low, if you're feeling down, talk about it. Don't bottle it up. Keep talking and you'll feel much better. Hope you're all okay, and speak soon. Thank you.